Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Turin here with another Warhammer Total War online commentary, more specifically a live BattleCast. So in this game, we are going to play the Warriors of Chaos, and we're going to face off against the Empire. So definitely a very exciting matchup, and one I've been looking forward to getting more often. Because, again, the past few weeks, most people have been playing Dwarves, Clan Angren, the new Goblin armies. So I haven't been getting a lot of experience against the Empire with the new Chaos units, but this is definitely a good opportunity to test it out. So we're going to get a Chaos Lord with the potions, put him on the big scary dragon, which synergizes very, very well with the Kindle Flame. We're also going to get 3 aspiring champions. I wish I could get more. Honestly, if I could get like 6 groups, I probably would, but I am indeed limited to 3. So this is going to be a great unit against the Empire, especially if they bring like low tier infantry like Spearmen. These guys will just crush them. So we're also going to get, let's see, we want to get 2 Manticores, I'm thinking. Actually, let's get 3, because we're not getting an Exalted Hero, and we're just going to get 3 Manticores to kind of supplement my Air Force, and it's going to be very, very good against the Empire, who tends to spam Air Force as well. So if he does have like an Amber Wizard and other troops like that, I want to be able to at least go fisticuffs and match his Air Force. So this is going to be my Goon Squad here. As far as our basic infantry corps goes, we're going to get 2 Forsaken, which are very, very good at circumventing the front line and pressuring the back. We're also going to get 2 of these Chaos Warriors with great weapons just to deal with great swords. And then on top of that, we're also going to get some 2 standard Chaos Marauders. So these guys are going to kind of be my front line, and let's see if we can pinch some pennies here. I don't think I can get rid of enough abilities to justify another group, so we might actually just chevron these guys. I'm just going to be lazy. I probably could like finagle away into getting like another group, but yeah, it's all good, guys. Let's get ready to party. We will see how this goes. But I really like this build. It's very, very fun. I feel like it's relatively competitive. These guys in the front, you just kind of send them in, so the initial missile fire does hit them usually, which is good. And they're, have decent stats. They have 34, or right now they actually have 40 melee attacks. So that's not going to be half bad against low tier Empire infantry. You have these aspiring champs to kind of help bolster that front line, because more often than not, these guys are going to crumble fairly quickly. So having those aspiring champs to maintain that formation, kind of keep everything tight and compact for you while your Air Force does work, is very, very important. Also on that same note, you are going to have the Chaos Warriors with great weapons supporting, and then the Forsaken. I usually don't send them into the main battle. I'll just kind of circumvent, use them to flank. Or if the opponent does have Cav, you can tie down the Cav with the Manticore and then use the Forsaken to kind of charge them and tie them up and do a pretty good job there. So, but again, that's all in an ideal world. It doesn't always go like that. More often than not, I do try and go after Cav with the Forsaken, and they just get rode down and devastated because they do have pretty low stats in regards to their defensive capability. So I actually like this map a lot. This is a pretty good deployment for me. Having this hill is definitely very advantageous in my opinion, but for Chaos it's not that advantageous because I don't have any like missile troops to really capitalize on it. But for a lot of factions like Dwarves, it's so nice to just put some like Thunders here and just deploy on this hill, have that great like downward slope. So we're gonna go ahead and set up here. We're going to put the aspiring champs right there. We're gonna put the armor piercing bad boys right here, so they're ready to party. All right, so far so good. So we'll get that formation set up, and then we're also, actually, we probably want to put them over here first. And then we'll put the Forsaken in the wings. So I like to have them kind of on the outside sometimes so they can like circle around easily or go and assist with periphery battles over here. So we're going to toggle that groups and control lock right here. That locks them into formation, so then they also move in formation. So you guys see I can like click around right now and they'll stay wherever they're going to be. So right here, we're just going to have our Flying Goon Squad. As you guys can see, I put them all in one group right now, but when the battle does get underway, I usually will switch them into 2. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully the Empire player has an Air Force and we can have a kind of a little sky battle here, but does not look like it. So he has a front line of great swords, which is very smart. I mean, very competitive. Can't do much. Can't complain about that. But he does have 2 Demogryph Knights with halberds with a lot of anti-large. So it's going to be definitely hard for my Manticores. I'm going to need to get the Manticores like up in the kind of the squishy parts of these handgunners right here and do a lot of damage there. So we're just going to advance here. We're going to put this guy in group 3 and this guy in group 4. So this guy we're going to send up and around here, and we're going to send this number 4 up and around this way, and then just kind of keep this main group with our army. We want to use these Manticores right now to kind of like turn the handgunners out. So if the handgunners right now, they have a pretty sweet position to say the least. So I'm going to get these Manticores and just force crash them onto these troops. And I don't really care if the Manticores take a beating. Usually they'll take a beating and then get in and out. And at the very least, he might send his Demogryph Knights after them, which would be really, really nice. So let's actually get a more direct pathing here. We definitely don't want them attacking there. So we'll wait till our Manticores get a little bit closer, and I think we're good to go. So we're actually going to push right now, and hopefully we can generate some good value here. So right now is a good time to kind of start toggling these troops to go after the appropriate targets. We'll get those guys on the Spearmen. We'll get these guys on the Greatswords. We'll get these guys on the Greatswords as well. And you can see they're drawing the Thunder Fire, which is fine, and they're kind of in a side strafing pattern. And of course the handgunners, their armor piercing isn't going to benefit that much from it. So a little bit of a lag spike here, guys. Bear with me. My apologies. So we'll get these guys here, and we'll get these guys here, and fly our main Goon Squad right over the top. So we're actually going to land these guys right now. We're going to land these guys here, and we're going to land these guys probably over here. So the Demogryph Knights will get a little bunched up, but I actually want him to send the Demogryph Knights in there. That would be really nice. And we'll send these guys out on the flanks here and these guys out on the flanks here. And we have our primary goon squad coming over the top. So you can see they're going to land in there, do some decent damage. And right now at this point, even if they do take a beating, they've already done really good damage to those handgunners. And none of my other troops are taking missile fire. And you can see, guys, it pulls in those demis, which is really nice. Because now I can just kind of like overload this group of spearmen right here and get these guys behind and get a nice little rear charge. So he does use the nets of MANTICORE here. We're going to charge in here, and we're also going to charge in right here and tie these guys up. We'll send that Manticore in there as well, and we will use the Cascading Fire Cloak over here. Very good. All right, so far so good. And you can see those demis kind of got tied up here. It's not going to be the best situation for them, so we'll use this here, get the lower fire buffs going. Unfortunately, this guy is netted right now. It'd be really nice to get him engaged in the appropriate area, but you can see my Manticores did get routed off, which is tough, but I did get a nice rear charge on both of the flanks. And now that my Lord is free, we can use them to kind of focus on these demis over here. And this Manticore, I'm probably going to turn it onto these handgunners right here. And this is actually my Chaos Sorcerer, so I have to be a little more careful with that. And we'll also pull this Manticore over here as well to help out. So my Lord is taking a beating. It's okay, though. I am going to use the Potion of Foolhardiness as well as the Potion of Toughness here in just a moment. So we're just about to break these Demogryph Knights, which is really nice. Got to make sure to get those guys engaged and get these guys engaged as well. So we're going to pull the Chaos Sword up and away. We're also going to get our Chaos Sorcerer and pull him out just a little bit because he's starting to get swarmed just a little bit. So let's see what else here. We don't have any really routing troops, and the Chaos Warriors are going to get in right now. Unfortunately, I was a little slow on releasing them from their nets. Not releasing them, but making sure they weren't getting netted down. So we're going to pull these guys around the back here. We're going to pull these guys onto these units here. And he does have those demis there, which is going to be very scary. So we're actually going to keep our Lord up in the air because it's a very dangerous situation here. So let's actually fly him over this way. And all right, so the infantry battle seems to be going pretty well. The aspiring champs are in there putting up a pretty good fight. The Forsaken were able to do pretty well also. So let's get them on those troops, and we'll pull these guys here, get them going there. And also, let's get the Chaos Sword right here. And this Manticore, they're actually doing a really darn good job here for sure. I can't complain. So we're going to use the Cascading Fire Cloak here, and we're also going to use the Flaming Sword of Ruin to kind of really hopefully punish that enemy unit right here. So let's get in here, and let's get these Manticores right onto those units here. I have to be careful not to lose my Chaos Sword. It would be pretty devastating if I did. So we're going to pull him back here. It looks like the infantry battle is going really well, except over here. So I do have this kind of focused area right here. So what I probably want to do is get my Chaos Sword and come after his General of the Empire. At this point, that would be pretty good because I do feel I have cleaned up his back line. So we're going to get this guy right here and also pull him on the General of the Empire. Unfortunately, those Thunders are still just trolling me a little bit. So we're going to, not Thunders, these handgunners. So we're going to pull those over there. We'll use this buff, and you can see, look at that charge. If I can break him before he can use a potion, that's going to be really good for me. And I actually think he already did use a potion. So we're going to just make sure to focus him, finish him off. That's going to be the most crucial aspect of winning this game right now is finishing this guy off. So we're going to use the Cascading Fire Cloak over here. And he does have some demis coming back as well. So let's pull these Forsaken to rear charge them, and we'll just kind of collapse here. But we definitely want to finish off this Lord. Definitely no mercy there. So these aspiring champs are coming back from route. Got to make sure to get those guys in. And we did get the enemy Lord. So that's a huge win for us right now. So we're going to select these guys here, get them all engaged on these Demogryph Knights, and just form right at this point a death blob is kind of what I'm looking to do. So we did rout off most of those units. That Light Wizard is broken, so we'll go ahead and pull these Manticores in here and just wait for them to get close before we engage. And also, let's detach some of these Forsaken here, but I don't want to let these Demogryph Knights get away. So maybe we should just finish those guys off because this battle over here is, you know, pretty much already lost, to say the least. So we'll path these guys in here. All right, guys, make sure to use that Arcane Conduit. I'm pretty bad about doing that sometimes. So we definitely want to finish off that Empire Captain right here, who's very, very strong. And, you know, one of the few units he has left that is providing encouragement. So, damn, I knew I should have finished that Light Wizard. He's definitely trolling me a little bit this game. And it looks like all my resources are kind of tied up right here. So that net was very, very cost effective. And it looks like he does blast me as well, but thankfully that Empire Captain is indeed shaken. So we'll reform here once we can and get things going. All right, let's wait, guys. It's almost showtime. So we're gonna send this Manticore over here as soon as we get out of this net, but it looks like he did use the extended effect duration. So let's pull those guys over here. Man, he still has a ton of those demis here. So we're going to send these guys after that Light Wizard and actually, let's send one in here. We need to get that Terror. So we're going to have this Chaos Sword get in here, use his leadership buff as well as his other damage effects. And then we're going to pull him out right away. I can't afford to lose him. That would definitely lose me the game, I think, at this point. We're going to use the Flaming Sword of Ruin on whatever troops we have left. And thankfully, we still have this group of Chaos Warriors who are in really, really good shape right now. And let's go ahead and use this guy. We can chase those demis off, and we can also use the Cascading Fire Cloak here. Hopefully this guy can finish off that wizard right there. My Chaos Lord is getting trapped a little bit, so I got to pull him out. If I lose him, like I mentioned to you guys, I'm in some serious trouble. And he does have this great group of Greatswords who is shaken, so what I'd like to do is pull my Chaos Lord up and then just cycle charge them until they break, because if they break, that should be all she wrote for our Empire opponent. So right now, he does have these darn Thunders over here. Man, they're just doing some serious work. So let's go ahead and just start running back here and just dive them to the best of our abilities. So I do have this Chaos Warrior, not Chaos Warrior, this Chaos Sorcerer over here. So hopefully you can get in here, and it should just break them right away. So they're terrified. So let's kind of get over to this group. We'll use the speed buff, and look at those missile attacks he's using. Very, very cool. So we're going to pull the Lord up and away and kind of just dive bomb here. But his army should break at this point. I don't think he has much left. So the Manticore gets in there and punts that Light Wizard, so we can pull in here now that I have a little bit of cover. Let's see what he has left as far as infantry goes. I don't think he has anything at this point, so we're just going to charge in, and let's go ahead. He's just getting knocked around all day. It's a very, very funny situation. So let's see what he has left. So he has some great swords, but definitely going to finish this Light Wizard because it does cause encouragement. So, you know, again, it would keep these great swords in the fight a little bit longer, but very, very well played to my opponent. It was a very fun game. The Nets of Amnitok definitely caught me off guard, but the Demogryph Knights, it went pretty well because we were able to kind of bait them in with the 2 Manticores in the beginning. And though I did take a ton of damage on the Manticores, that allowed my Forsaken to really punish his flanks, which I think was a pretty big deal in regards to the outcome of that game. So really good game to my opponent, Domo. I look forward to seeing you again on ladder, and I hope you guys enjoyed that Chaos Battlecast. Have an excellent night, and take care.